scratchers, and welcome back to another video. And today we are doing Roblox episode 4. So yes, we are already in the game, and hello, we are back for the school holidays. It is the 8th of April 2025, as you can see here, 1:40 p.m. And yeah, welcome back everyone. We are back. It's been a long time since I've released on the channel, 4 months in fact, and my last video was episode 3 of this series, but we are continuing it. And today we're actually gonna make the start on the Roblox game. Sorry if my audio or my mic sounds a bit grainy or choppy. I don't have my usual mic, so it's gonna sound like that for the rest of the videos. So yeah, maybe the next coming videos, because my mic is something's wrong with it. And yeah, some computer problems actually. The battery wasn't working. Anyways, sorry to bore you guys. Let's begin. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go to File and you want to do Save as a Copy. So we'll press Save as a Copy and it'll copy. And now we want to go here, and now we want to go here, and we want to make it episode 4. Let's go. Alright, so today in episode 4, we're going to make our first game in Roblox. It's finally happened. And the game that you suggested in my community post was, in fact, Brookhaven, one of the most popular games on Roblox at this time. So we're going to make that. But before we can make that, we actually got to set everything up, you know. So let's have a little play. Since I haven't had a play for a bit, we can skip this bit. So as you see, we have our Discover, our Friends, and our Home page. And we can change between the two. Also, last episode, we made that list in the Variables tab. And you can see it here. Now, it's a bit bugged here, but we will change that. If we go into our games here, Games ad, and yes, I know my blocks are dark purple. That was a mod. That's just in the add-on, and you don't need to worry about it. Okay, anyways, back to this. So as we see here, we have our when I receive setup, set index, set game, hide this, delete all, and games add. So in this block, we have repeat index and change game by 1. And also in that block, we have here. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, it didn't quite work. As you can see, it goes up, but it takes 2, 3, 4. It takes 10, I think. So that's a big issue. I've tried fixing this over the weekend. Didn't work. But anyways, we'll get on. We'll deal with that. Okay. Well, let's begin with actually putting the game in. Yes, I know. So let's click on. Make sure you're selected on your game spot. And we are here. So we're gonna go here, and we already have a block here. However, we are going to make a new block called Brookhaven. Now, obviously, this isn't optimal, because if you're going to have lots of games, it isn't the most optical way to do this, because, of course, I didn't spell that right, by the way. Of course, you could, don't forget to put that one without screen refresh, so we're going to have to do that again. Sorry. I don't think it's it's not optical to do every single game for one block, because that could cause lag. But, of course, alright, now, of course, this is just like a couple episodes, so yeah. So we're gonna move this to find a Brookhaven right next to our Define Games ad. I'm so sorry if I sound so, out of order, because I haven't done a video in a while. Don't worry, I'll get used to it. Alright, so, Define Brookhaven. And what we're going to do is we're going to, add some code under this. So, yeah. So, we want to add some setup code, basically. So, we want to make its logo. And to do that, we're going to go into Costumes. And we're going to go to Paint a Costume. And I'm going to delete this original costume. Let's name this costume Brookhaven logo. Or you could just name it Brookhaven, which is what I'm going to do. But of course, you can do what you want. So now we're actually going to get an image of Brookhaven. Now I am going to just quickly do a quick Google search and still run off the internet. Now you don't have to do this. You can make your own if you want to, but that will take too much time of this video, and I just want to do the quickest art we possibly can, because I'm not an artist. You're probably not an artist. So yes, and no, I'm not publishing this game, so I won't get copyrighted. At least I think. And sorry for that notification, by the way. Alright, so I'll just save this. Go back to our game, and we are gonna import this, and I actually need to upload the costume. Sorry guys, I will upload the costume. I think it's this one, it is, and we'll press open. And here we are. It's not 4K, by the way, that's why it looks so good. And I recommend you also renaming this, of course, because, you don't want to get mixed up with all the other logos. And we're going to convert to vector. And now we're going to get this, and like I always say, you need to drag it to the center. Make sure it snaps to the center of the canvas. Now let's go back to our code section. So as you can see here, it is humongous. That's not what we want. So let's go down here, and let's first put up our sweat costume to Brookhaven. Now, once we make more games, this will have to be refined and tweaked a bit, but this is just for Brookhaven only. So this will probably have to be refined, but we won't worry about that yet. So we'll switch costume to Brookhaven, and we want to set it's way too big. So let's set the size to something a bit more smaller. Let's go half of the size. Actually, let's just go a quarter of the size. Let's click here just to have a good look. As you see, that's still too big. So let's go really low and only have a quarter 45. Now it's still too big. So we're going to go really, really, really small with 15. But that does end up being the perfect size. I might just refine that to 20 just to have that perfect size. And yes, that is perfect. Alright, so meanwhile, I am going to hide the sprite just so it doesn't get in the way, so I can show you where we want it to be. And that is a bug. As you see, when we click on it, it doesn't show up immediately. So we might actually quickly fix that. Why not? I actually didn't know this was a thing. So let's go into home button, and we want to go into when I receive setup, and then here in the here recently played friends played, which is this one. We want to actually show this. We actually want to show it, so not hide it. Alright, let's see how it looks. 1-1, that is not, okay, yes, that is not the one. 1-1, Raphael, this one. Alright, this one, this will work now. So I don't know why I didn't fix that earlier. Alright, there we go. And as you see, it still perfectly functions on how it should. Like it should. Alright, so now that's done. Now we can actually move on. Sorry for that. Move on to our actual code. Alright, so as you see, we'll hide it. So we want this to be on the Discover page, and we don't have a position for roleplay yet. I might change hobbies to roleplay, and we'll put that game down here. Alright, so we're going to stop it here so we can refine stuff, and we're going to now show this. So we'll get the show block and we'll click on it. This will only want that one block, so it won't want anything else in the game. So we're going to drag it down to hobbies, and this is exactly where I want it to be. Alright, so we'll put it here, and we want to get a go to X and Y. Again, there will be different games, but this isn't fully refined to that yet. Alright, so now it should go to there. It's going to be shown there, and as you see, if we play this now, it's going to be there. And you're probably like, what? Why is it there? That's because, obviously, it's only posted on the Discover page, so let's refine that. So let's get a when I receive look, alright? So let's go into our Discover button here, and it sets button to Discover. Broadcast, Discover. Alright, so we want to go down here, and we want to get our when I receive block. So when I receive Discover, we want to So we want to show this. Alright, and on the start play we want to hide it. Alright, so as you see, if we would go into this now, it's not here. Click on discover, it is here. But when we go back, oh god, it's still here. So let's refine that. Let's also get our when I receive home and friends. Home and friends. And in both of those blocks, we want to put the hide block. So hide and hide. Now click back onto this. And as you see, not here. Go to discover. Here. Not here. Not here. Not here. Not here. And yeah, you can see that basically. Alright, now that is fully done, we actually want to make the title underneath it, because if people are new to this, they might not know what the game's called. So let's do that. So let's go back to our define Brookhaven, and I'm going to right click and press up clean up blocks, just so it's nice and organized. So let's go back to our define Brookhaven block, and we're going to add some more stuff to this. So let's make a new sprite, and we're going to say paint a sprite, and we're going to name this game titles. So now we have our game's titles. We want to make our sprite. So let's get rid of that, and we have it here. So we're going to name this costume Brookhaven. Now we want to go into our text tool. Make sure you're in vector mode, and you want to click on the screen. Now we're going to type whatever you want, but of course I'm going to type Brookhaven. Now we're going to go back to the select tool, and we're going to select. We're going to select all of this, and let's make it a black color. And I'm also going to just change the font. Let's make this a bit bigger, and of course, snap to the center. Alright, so now go back into your code section, and as you see, Brookhaven. So again, we're going to go into the Brookhaven sprite and press show. So as you see, it's kind of black right now. It's kind of not obvious. We actually might change the color. I did not think about that at the start. Let's make it maybe a bit more of a whiter color. Yeah, that's a bit better. So now we want to press show, and we want to go here. Let's go here to the discover page. Let's go back out. Let's get this down here. So as you see, it's a bit too big for my liking, so you can even set the size, but we're just going to go down here and set the size like this. Just a bit easier than having to go through all that stuff. Alright, so still too big. We're going to make that just a bit smaller. Make sure it's still stacked to the center too. And as we see, we have Brookhaven down there. Alright, so let's bring out back events, and want to get when I receive set up, because that's our setup block, and when we do that, yeah. So it's 30 minutes. So when I receive set up, we want to hide this block, and we also want to go to this position. That is not updated. That is not updated. What's going on? That is not up there. I don't know why that's not updated, but it must just be an error. That's fine. We don't care about errors. It's all good and good can be. Alright, so we type the manually, and that usually wouldn't happen. That's a bit of a bug, I guess. So we want to get a when I receive discover, and like the game logo, we want to get when I discover show, but when friends, and when I receive home, we want to go to looks, and we want to get out our hide block. Alright, so we're going to right click this, clean up looks, and we'll reset the game. Alright, so nothing here. What happened to nothing here? Nothing there. And yes, Brookhaven. Alright, but as you see, I click it, I freaking can't join it. That is a massive issue, and I'm sure you know. If you know, you know. So, we are going to make a loading screen. However, we're not going to make that in this episode since it's not required. That's just for looks, and we won't need one yet. However, in the next coming episodes on this series, we will be making loading screens and menus. But we just want to, immediately after we click it, to enter this game. Alright, now it's time to hide basically everything when we click the logo. So let's click on this games, and we want to go down here. And we want to go here, and we want to go when this sprite is clicked. And we want to go, and we want to get another broadcast message under that, and we want to broadcast game time. Yes, I know, weird name. You can name it whatever you want, but that's just my name, alright? So broadcast game time, and now we basically want to get into every single thing on this screen, including ourselves. So let's also make sure we put a hide lock right under that as well. So now all we have to do is we have to get a when I receive, and this is in every single sprite so far. When I receive game time, hide. And we want to do that in every single thing. To speed it up, you could do this, which is exactly what I'm going to do. This will just make it quicker and won't make it as far. And won't make it, this just makes it 10 times quicker than having to go in each single one. So what I'm doing is dragging it and it doesn't get rid of it. So now, if I go to Discover, click it, everything should go away. But even to make it more clean, we're going to go back to Games, go back to this when sprite clicked, and we're even going to set the backdrop to a new backdrop. So let's click on our backdrop sprite, go into Customize Backdrops. We're going to make a new backdrop. Oh, not that. Paint a new backdrop, and we're going to make it fully white. So we'll go Fill, make a fully white color, convert to bitmap, get our paint tool out, and click on it. We'll convert back to vector. And here, which also means we might want to go down into setup, and we might also want to just switch the backdrop to backdrop 1 when we first play it. Now we'll go to now we'll go back to games. We'll scroll down a bit to here, and here we'll set the backdrop to backdrop 2. So if we play it, we have this going black drop up, press on Discover, we have a game, press it, everything goes back to its original state, and there's barely anything. And that's exactly what we want. Now we have a clean canvas to work with. We don't have to worry about anything interfering. We can now finally actually start working on our game. So this is where we go to section 2 of this tutorial. Alright, if you made it this far, you're a champion. Welcome to section 2 of this tutorial, where we'll be actually starting on Brookhaven. Yep, I know. So, after some one thinking, I've decided 3D might be a bit too intense. And if you want 3D, you should go look up some other tutorials on YouTube, because that would just be so long. I mean, we're already, look, 18 minutes through this episode. If you're still watching, you're a champion, man. Anyways, yes. So we're not doing 3D. We're gonna do 2D. So we're gonna do a kind of platform. We're gonna do a kind of top-down view perspective, like our top-down Minecraft series, but Brookhaven instead. That's what we're basically gonna do. So of course, in Brookhaven, you spawn in this little grey spawn area, and right next to that is a road, and right in front of that is a station. So that's what we're gonna do. But we have to have a different section for each part of the map. So this has to be stored somewhere. What? Yes, you're correct. We need to go to variables and make a new list. Calling this Brookhaven. And make sure that's for all sprites. Press OK. Now, of course, we still have our games thing that hasn't been fully refined yet. Don't worry about that. We'll figure that out later in the episodes. Anyways, let's focus on this Brookhaven list. So this will be every single level, and every single level in this list has to contain some data in it. The level data, what is in the level, which is kind of complex, but you see when we get to it. So we want to go into our game sprite, And for the main one, we're going to hide. Actually, no, we're going to show the list so we can see if it's working or not. And just move that down to that bottom right corner. So as you see, it's going to when this spot is clicked. So when this spot is clicked, we want to make a new block. And we want to call it Brookhaven Funk. And funk stands for functionality. Make sure to press 1 without screen refresh. Press OK. Now you want to go here, define book, and make sure you have Brookhaven Funk under all of that. So now we have our Brookhaven Funk. So this will be the functionality. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go here. I want to say delete all of Brookhaven. So everything is fresh and ready to go. So now we want to basically add every single level. And for the meanwhile, we're going to have the first one, and we're going to have a compass, like the one next to it, the one that way, the one up, the one down, the one left to right, diagonal left, diagonal right, diagonal down, diagonal up. Sorry, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense, all right? You see. So that is 6. That is, sorry, type. That is 9, sections, including the diagonal. So we're going to have 9. So let's go get a repeat block out here and put that under there. And we want to make a new variable, and we want to call it index. But we already have an index, so why don't we make use of that? Because we can't have a million different variables named index 1, index 2. So as we can see, index currently equals 10. And that's actually how much we want. Or we want to set index to 9. So we're just going to go down here. We're going to set index to 9 because the list will already have it. So it won't need that anymore. And we're going to repeat index times add insert I think insert let's go data. We'll figure out this data later. So if we press this, as you see our Brookhaven list, still not showing anything, and we still have everything. Well, click on this, goes to 9, and we don't actually have anything. That is a bug. I have no idea what happened. Alright, how about we just add a fin to Brookhaven so we can really see what's going on here. Alright, we got it. That was a bit of a bug. So we have 10 fins in this. That's good. So 9 fins, alright? This will be all the ones we want so far. Alright, well, let's build the first level, which is the lobby and the road. So let's hide all our variables and lists so we can properly start building out this game. And we have just reached our 24-minute mark. So I'm going to have to end this soon. Let's just get the art done for this episode. Let's go do costumes. And we're going to actually make a new sprite. I promise there won't be 100 sprites. It's not optimized yet. So we're going to name it Brookhaven. Alright, wait. Brookhaven. Alright, this is going to be level 1. Well, not level, it's not a platformer, but I don't know else what to call it. Stage 1. Alright, make sure you're in vector mode or else this won't work. So now we're going to start with that grey little lobby. If you played Roblox, played Brookhaven before, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to zoom as far as we can. We're going to get this here, and we're going to go up around to the middle point of the crosshair there. And this time, I know, I can't believe I'm saying this, we don't want to make it into the center. That won't matter. So, obviously, the floor is not white. It is actually a more greyish colour. So, we're going to change this brightness scaler a bit down. Maybe to around there. Now we need the road. So, we have a side path right there, and a road for the middle. So, let's make the side path. So, the colour is just slightly lighter than what we got already. So, let's make it there. And we want to make this slightly bigger. In fact, what I like to do is make it really big because all this extra won't show. All this extra won't show, which is exactly what we want. Oh, we also want to make sure this is at 0, 0. So it's fully extended to what it should be. Now we're going to copy and paste this. And we want to go over here. And now we want to make that black road. So let's make it. And I just realized today that it's not actually fully black, the road. It's actually kind of like that. Not fully black. So new thing for everyone. Alright, so now we have this. I'm not that fond of that grey. I wish it was a bit lighter. Like that. Yeah, that looks a bit better. I'm going to add maybe textures as well. Now I want to add some white stuff in the road, of course. And I don't want to make them fully white, but I want to, and I don't want to actually make these two fins. So let's go here. Let's copy, paste these. Go down a bit. Copy, paste. Go down. Copy, and paste. Alright, those are a bit uneven, but you get the point. Now let's go back into code. And as you can see, yeah, it's an abomination. Alright, well, let's actually get a when I receive setup code. So we're gonna when I'll receive setup, and obviously we want to hide this. Let's just get a go to 0, 0 as well. We want to hide this. Alright, so now it's not abomination in the way. But when I receive game time, we want to go show. So obviously this doesn't match up with our list. We won't worry about this. This episode's long enough. So we click on it and we got our level. So yeah, so each game at least should have 3 to 4 to even 5 episodes, depending on how big they are. And since Brookhaven's a big game, this will probably have a couple episodes, 100%. It's not going to get done in 2 episodes, maybe not even 3. Anyways, this video is very, very long, and I want to finish it here. So, Scratch, it's been a long 4 months, but yes, you finally got Roblox episode 4. Yeah, so, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Thank you all for 300 subscribers. We reached out a bit ago. We don't actually have 300. We have way more than that now. We have like 50 more, but yeah, thanks for 300, and goodbye, Scratches.